Hey guys, it's David, and today we're here at RLT Suspension in Salt Lake City, Utah, and we're here with Miles, the suspension expert. Miles, what is that?
Yeah.
And what are we doing today?
Yeah, so this is a hydro-pneumatic bump stop, if you want to get technical. It replaces your factory rubber bump stop. A lot more performance when you do take your vehicle off-road. It prevents the harsh bottom outs, it prevents your tire from eating the fender if you have it set up correctly, and it prevents your suspension from having those really harsh bottom outs that can blow out your seals.
Awesome. So we're rebuilding those today, and let's get into it. Miles, we have the hydro off the truck and on the bench. What are we doing to it?
Yeah, so just like any other high performance shock absorber, these do require regular maintenance. We're going to be doing a full rebuild on these today. Recommended interval is between 30 and 40,000 miles if you off-road it pretty frequently. So we're going to be replacing all the fluid in here, changing the seals, and topping it back off with 100% nitrogen to factory specifications.
Awesome. So then we'll slap them back in when we're done.
Absolutely.
Cool. Let's get to it.
That's quite a bit of dirt. I'm glad we're rebuilding these. So we're taking apart the bump stop and its whole shaft assembly, which includes the piston, the rebound shims, and the compression shims. Gonna make sure everything's intact still. I have taken these apart before and seen broken shims, and that's one thing you do not want on these guys. So during the rebuild process, you want to thoroughly inspect the shaft for any dings, dents, scratches, anything that could have hit on the trail. This one looks pretty good, so we're not going to have to do any polishing, any honing. We'll be able to put the new seals on right away. Here's the new wiper seal going on in its housing. So this is the seal head assembly. We've just replaced all the internal wiper seals, the external seal, and we're going to be reassembling the bump stop shaft. Now we're filling the bump stop with fluid for the final assembly process. All right, and the C-clip has now been set, so we're gonna put the wiper seal on. Now she's ready for nitrogen. So here's the hypodermic needle that we have to pierce the pellet port with, and then we're gonna be filling the nitrogen chamber up this way. All right, we just finished rebuilding it. Next step is to put it back in the car. When you're reinstalling any type of off-road bump stop back into the vehicle frame, you want to be sure to use some sort of anti-seize just so you can get it out the next time. These Dobinsons rebuildable bump stops are pretty awesome. I really like the threaded design because if you ever increase or decrease your tire size, you can fine tune in where the final bump stop point would be. All right, so now that we have the height that we want, we're gonna lock down the collar on the bump stop.
All right, so we just finished rebuilding the hydraulic bump stops. That wasn't too bad.
No, it's really not too bad. We're pretty familiar here at RLT Suspension with rebuilding these. We do a handful every single month. It's a simple maintenance item that a lot of people overlook, especially when they're beating the crap out of the vehicle like these guys do.
Yeah, and we beat the living crap out of this thing. Miles, do you see these paired with any other Dobinsons kits?
Oh yeah, so these guys have them with the MRR suspension system. We see it pretty frequently with the IMS and the GS series as well. It's definitely an added feature for those guys that are really hitting the big whoops, hitting the big washouts, or carrying a lot of weight.
And that sounds like us.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get these freshly rebuilt bumps out on the trails and see what it's all about. Catch you next time.